Yo, what up, what up, what up? Man, it's super bright. And my microphone's facing the wrong way. My bad. What up, what up? I decided that to get, I need to go live more frequently. So I thought I would go live with doing stuff for the podcast. So, I'm going to be researching stuff for the podcast, live on here. And kind of like hop in and out. I'm going to play some. Well, honestly, I was going to play in the background a YouTube video that I'm going to watch because PFF dropped a mock draft for like round 2 of the. Hopefully it doesn't get pulled down because I'm playing this. But yeah, it's like a mock draft for the NFL draft. And I need to do some research for that. I don't ever pretend that I know shit when it comes to shit about the NFL draft. I like seeing cool highlights, and if there's ever a time to see really dope highlights, it is the NFL draft. So, forgive me in advance. I am congested due to, you guessed it, fucking allergies here in Houston. My eye, like it's gotten so bad that it's affecting literally my eyes, and that's like the final stage. You know what I mean? That's how I know it's gotten completely out of fucking hand for me personally, when my allergies are being affected by my eyes are being affected by my allergies. Make sure you're hydrated, kids. Starting my morning off like I normally do with a good old fashioned energy drink that one day may sponsor this podcast if I get big enough. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm just gonna do this for an hour. I literally have a time set aside, like I'm looking at the clock and everything like that, because I got other shit that I need to do. But I found this would probably be a good way to interact with people, because you never know when people are going to get on and get live and shit like that. And we can all study together. If we're out there studying apart, we can study together. Also, I got some major news for me personally. Streamlabs. Oh shit, that's what I'm using right now. Okay, cool. Didn't shut it down. I got some big news. Me personally, I can't announce it yet. It's Quidditch related, but have to wait for graphics to be made and shit. It's that kind of thing. Yeah, cool. Let me open up YouTube. And we'll get back to work, because I was reading the article already, and then I remembered that on my list of ideas that I have written down that I want to do for the show, one of them is to stream researching for the podcast. Even though I do more research than this, like, let's be for real, I do more research than an hour a day, but I thought I would go out of my way at some point randomly during the week, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, especially since I need to do multiple shows, to do some research. So we'll see how this goes. Oh man, let's see what we got here. We got a weird setting going on. Desktop audio is not being picked up, but for some reason it is flowing. The audio is flowing through. This is so dope. There we go. Y'all are fucking killing me with this, man.
Pat McAfee's YouTube channel gets 135,000 live viewers as they all wait Aaron Rodgers joining the show at 105 Eastern, and he immediately gets ahead of it and says, hey, I'm not making any decision on my future today. Wants to leverage the Tuesday show with Pat McAfee to just talk about the insane season that they had. A lot of people disappointed in Aaron Rodgers. He gave more publicity to the cleanse he's doing than actually like anything he's thinking about in terms of like
this is so dope.
Football,
something's wrong.
Whether or not he'll play with the Green Bay Packers moving forward, all that stuff.
Couldn't adjust.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what people expect.
I couldn't adjust. So I adjusted my headphones, but I couldn't adjust.
He's never been like the performative type to
actual YouTube
want
video.
that, to like tease something and then say something like, if he's gonna break news, it's probably just gonna come out silently
In an Instagram post?
No, via like someone reporting, like Ian Rappaport.
Yeah, man, I'm over here fucking dying, guys. In case you couldn't hear it.
Now,
It's bad, baby. It's bad.
And is this odd wellness influencer guy, but I never thought that
Can I get pulled down for running somebody else's podcast in the background? I guess we're gonna find out.
but I never thought like he would tease it with the post the night before.
The post. Can we break down the post?
Yeah, we have to
because
break
it's absolutely phenomenal.
I just read an article on by Reuters yesterday where they were talking about. Oh man,
Doing a little shaka.
they read an article by Reuters. They were talking about how like companies that make they make formula like for babies and shit like that are like breaking multiple laws, and they've been called out on it. And I'm like, you mean like they have for years? Because baby formula is solely baby formula. The companies that are a part of it is in particular Nestle, like that Nestle. They have like spread lies about like the effectiveness of their formula in comparison to like literally anything else. Like their whole thing, their whole mantra that they lived at. Why does it do this every time I adjust the text that's on the ticker? It's so stupid now. I will never understand OBS, bro. I really won't. But yeah, they lie. Like that's their deal. Like their whole deal is to attempt to prove that their formula is more effective than breast milk, like the natural source of nutrients that babies are supposed to have. That honestly, I think breast milk is like customized to each kid, right? Because it's based off of the person that made the child and stuff like that. So Nestle's trying to prove that they're like, our all-in-one formula works for every single kid that's ever been born. And to their credit, there are people who need breast milk formula. People who don't produce at a high enough level, obviously, don't produce breast milk at a high enough level, which is definitely a product of either some genetic stuff or a disease or anything like that, or it's a product of like the mother herself is not getting enough food on a regular basis. Because they used to go to countries that were really struggling with like water, like struggling to get clean water, struggling to get like food on a regular basis, and they would be like, cool, so like the mother is malnourished, and for her to make breast milk, she needs to be able to eat more food. But for when she can't eat food consistently, we have this formula that you can feed your kid, so your kid can be well nourished, even if you aren't. That is legitimate. That's a thing. The thing that's not a thing is trying to convince people that their formula is better than actual breast milk from a woman. They're like literally every form of science has proven that that's not even close to true. So I find that interesting that they're still out here scamming, because that's literally what they're doing. Like their whole deal. It's so funny to like most people like in the industry are competing against like another car company, or like another like Walmart's competing or Target's competing against Walmart. Walmart's not competing against Target, right? That was over a long time ago. But like Target's competing against Walmart. What is it? Toyota's competing against Honda or whatever, right? Like they're and Nestle's breast milk formula is competing against women's bodies. Legitimately, like competing against women's bodies. Like what a concept to have as like a business model. Like there's a guy or a gal who wakes up every day. She's like, how are we gonna beat those titties today? How are we gonna beat women's ability to produce everything that a child needs at the rate that the child needs it in perpetuity? How are we going to defeat the boobies today? And quite frankly, if there's a war between boobies and powder formula in a can, I think it's very decided what side that I'm on. Right. Okay. Just really off topic there. Definitely just wasted a couple of seconds there. I'm going to go get some tissue paper and also not blow my nose into the camera / into the microphone. Not that kind of ASMR, which by the way, I think in ASMR, that is actually like really frowned upon because it is a loud, annoying noise. I'm going to take a little breaky break here. Yeah, I know. This sucks, man. Hopefully this is cleared up by tomorrow. I actually worked out outside yesterday, and it wasn't anywhere near as bad as I feel right now from when I woke up a few hours ago. And I feel terrible right now, like completely congested. It is insane. And I went through my room and like wiped all the dust off the walls and dusted my ceiling fan because, one thing is sneaky about the ceiling fan, like it's spinning all the time, so you don't notice how much dust is actually on the blades until you stop it from spinning. Went through there, used the little vacuum cleaner, all that jazz like that, and it's still pretty bad. I don't know, guys. Anyway, hold on, let me see if I can find that dope song that I like a lot. Yes, I have a favorite song that I play on the show all the time. That's not it. It's actually the theme song for my other podcast, The Big Man Bias. Here it is. I think this is it. Yeah, it is. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna go get tissue paper so I can blow my nose. Yo, y'all are not gonna believe it. I went outside to go let the windows of my car down so I can let the cigar smoke smell that could be lingering in there out. Yes, that's a thing that I do on a regular basis. Honestly, it's the number one reason why I can never move into an apartment, because I have to do it. I have to let it down. Have to let those windows down, you know, so I can get that smell out. Anyway, I went outside and it was actually kind of chilly, and it was raining, and it was windy a little bit. Like there was a breeze going, which is the perfect environment for it to not be allergy type situation. So it makes me wonder if there's something in my room now. That's like my biggest, that's my biggest wonder now, because it has to be. Has to be something like that. Anyway, let me tweet this shit out real quick and plug my phone in. I'm at 12% somehow. Did you guys work out yesterday? Anybody work out yesterday? What'd you do? Oh, fuck. Where's my notes at? There it is. Major keys. Key links, major keys. It's where I put the links for all of the ways you can listen to the show. I'm researching for the podcast. Hop in. Chat it up. Anyway. Man, I was gonna do an NFL or I was gonna do a Super Bowl only reaction podcast, but decided not to. Even though I did even though I did like almost a Super Bowl only show. Even though like I really like the Super Bowl is so weird because at a certain point like I already have like decided who I think is going to win, and honestly it's an amalgamation of the weeks leading up to it, the months leading up to it, and you've probably heard why I think that those teams are good for like a long period of time. Just like like for instance, we were talking about the Rams, or I was talking about the Rams being a legit Super Bowl contender in like week 3, I think. Yeah, like that's not. So it wasn't really that much of a surprise when I had when they went out there and they got to the Super Bowl. It was like my biggest concern was, man, I don't know if they're going to. My biggest concern was like, I don't know if they're going to, one, be consistent enough to be able to make it to the Super Bowl, and then two, if they were going to be able to overcome turnovers. And lo and behold, what do you know? They were super consistent enough. They were super consistent, and then on top of that, they did overcome turnovers. Like they factually overcame turnovers to get to that point. Man, there we go. Y'all whack, boy. Study hall. Yeah, I like this concept because it gives you an excuse to. It makes me set aside time. It makes me set aside time to actually read stuff. Like right now, reading this article about a law coming into effect to prevent the Washington Commanders from getting a tax break for building the stadium, and I was like, I support it. I'm here for it. I really am. Anything that makes Daniel Snyder's life harder, I'm here for it. I support that. What do you know? It's 3 Democrats. Who would have thought? Introduced a bill on Tuesday that would immediately eliminate a tax break used by professional sports teams. So this wouldn't just be for Daniel Snyder. It would be for, which, by the way, has been a huge deal. I mean, one of the greatest scams is like rich people convincing cities that like, oh man, if you build us a stadium, we will stay. Instead of rich people realizing like if they own 100% of the stadium, they don't have to split the money with anybody else. But whatever. I've always wondered like which type of sports facility I would like to own if I ever got to that point in my life. Where I'm spending money on like real estate. I think I would try and get to a basketball arena because I feel like a basketball arena is like the most flexible out of the 4 major sports. Well, I say 4 major sports as if hockey arenas are a thing here in America, but they're not. I would definitely say a basketball arena because it seems the most flexible, and people are more likely to buy. In terms of like rent the venue out for artists, because that's where the main revenue of the money comes from, right? Like right now, SoFi Stadium let's look at what's going on at SoFi Stadium. So the Rams just won the Super Bowl. They're not they are hold on, SoFi Stadium events. The Rams just won the Super Bowl. They won't be playing for like a couple months. SoFi Stadium has shit that's going on in it, like a lot. This is weird. They have an art installation coming February 23rd, which is today. And it's staying till the 30th, which I guess is somewhere in there. I'll see. Look, here it is. Paul McCartney is showing up May 13th. Grupo Firma, May 28th. Kenny Chesney coming in town July 23rd. Red Hot Chili Peppers, that's nice. It must be so nice for all these like big time bands to have like, oh man, we don't even have to go that far. We can just go to SoFi Stadium to make a huge show happen, because if there's one place that loves rock and roll, it is LA. Dude, this is crazy. August 22nd, August 27th of this year. It's called the Stadium Tour. which super creative. Motley Crue and Def Leppard and Poison are going on tour together. Bad Bunny's coming in town. Anyway, yeah, like the stadium has people, but like you saw, like there's a big gap in between. So like if I go to like Crypto Arena, yeah, I know, not Staples Arena. By the way, that whole like, oh man, it's not Staples Center anymore thing was like kind of weird. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens with. I'm sure the Staples is very happy that people were so attached to their brand name, because it's very clear that people do not have like that emotional attachment to the brand that is Staples, just the name. So, and that's why and that was a prime example of why you buy naming rights, ladies and gentlemen. So if that didn't boost the reasoning behind it, it was like direct proof of like how hard, like it was a topic on ESPN for like multiple days about Staples Center getting its name changed to Crypto.com Arena. What do they got going on besides NBA games? Here it is, eventscrypto.com. They got Bad Bunny coming in this week, tomorrow. Then they have then the Clippers and Lakers play each other on Friday. Yeah, Friday. They got the Kings in there. They got, see what I mean? Like those other ones, like at SoFi Stadium, their earliest event started in May, and legitimately, like Crypto Arena has a concert with Bad Bunny, one of the hottest artists on the planet, tomorrow. Then they have professional basketball game, professional hockey game, New York Islanders. They have the Harlem Globetrotters coming in the next day. See, they're like jam-packed in here because the Globetrotters play the same day as the Pelicans and the Lakers. And then the next day it's the Kings again, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Lakers again. Let's see. They have Justin Bieber performing March 7th and March 8th. Then they have more professional games. See, like they have Imagine Dragons coming into town, and that's like with it. This is all before May, right? This is why you would want a basketball arena. This right here, and I get it. LA is a specific. LA is a very, very specific ecosystem of teams, because there's not many places where you have 3 professional teams, especially 2 in the same league, playing at the same time. So yeah. Like they have the weekend performing March 18th during March Madness. They have Mark Anthony the week after that. They have a huge fight, huge boxing match coming up. Like that's why New Edition's going to be there with Charlie Wilson. Oh, with Charlie Wilson, a lot of ladies going to get pregnant. Going to see that. Well, the ladies who go to see New Edition and Charlie Wilson may be getting towards that special time in a woman's life. Where pregnancy is no longer a factor for the most part. Which, by the way, can't tell if people are excited or bummed out by that sometimes. You have to wonder. I think it's all based around whether or not you already have kids, right? Tyler, the Creator, will be there March 31st. So, yeah. I love how I'm just, like, talking to myself and it's just completely spiraled out of control somehow. This study hall session is what my brain is about. Like it's basically my brain on Front Street, which is not great. Anyway, that is Team Discord popping off about like, hey man, maybe you don't put the fact that that thing that you can't tell anyone about is a thing that you can't tell anyone about. So it's cool. Trey's cool, peeps. Trey won't snitch. You guys don't know Trey, but he won't snitch. That's the only thing you need to know about Trey is he won't snitch. See, by the way, still reading this story about this bill that would eliminate the tax break for pro stadiums in the Washington area. And apparently they're using... Yeah, so... This is actually... Wow, this is clever as fuck. They're to get this bill pushed through as a reference point, they're pointing out how tax dollars for the Washington D.C. area were going to an organization that was sexually harassing its employees. So by transitive property, they were paying for people to be sexually harassed, and they're trying to say that that's something that they don't want to be a part of. And also, this is why one of the members of the oversight committee, apparently, that was in the clips that we saw the day after the Washington Commanders changed their name. So. Yup. And she was just like, that's why I support this. The NFL has proven once again that it can't play by the rules. As such, taxpayers subsidized municipal bonds should no longer be a reward for the Washington Commanders and other teams that continue to operate workplaces that are dangerous for sexual harassment and sexual abuse. I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is the kind of society that I'm trying to be in. I don't know if there's like some other angle that goes along with this or whatever. But facts are, that's the kind of society I want to be in, where people are like, you know what? I don't think I want to have state-sponsored sexual harassment. She also points out, like, it doesn't make any financial sense for them to sponsor the Washington Commanders' ability to build a stadium, especially since they cut them out of like the big gains, right? Yo, and she pointed out like, oh man, like we should definitely take our money back because the NFL literally is doing nothing to help people in terms of like the racism that was brought up, and then on top of that, in terms of also the sexual harassment stuff that continues to pop up across the league. And they're basically, this is the funny part, like they're not trying to take away the bonds. They are demanding that they have taxes charged on top of them. Yeah, they're just like, now these bonds are no longer taxed. This isn't even like, oh, we're gonna stop giving you money. This is like, we're gonna need you to start putting that on your tax return that you pay no money on, right? And apparently Washington's in the market for a new stadium. Did not know that. Yeah, I'm starting to think there's something in my room that was causing my allergies because I let the window up and it, like, my eyes are not staying anymore. It's got to be something. Maybe it might be. I might need to rewash my sheets, but using my non-scented detergent. And they're still talking about there's a legit threat that the U.S. Congress may issue subpoenas which will force people to testify about what happened in the Washington football sexual harassment situations. Let's see. Twitch. Alright, I'm supposed to be playing like music and shit, right? I need to remove that one song. See, and here it is right here. Here's the kicker. So they can see they're. You can have a legit point about like, I don't want to be sponsoring sexual harassment from a professional team that lives in our city that has all these advantages and shit like that. And you can also point out that they have not been able to collect $4.3 billion in revenue from the tax exempt bonds that they used to build the stadium. And apparently, this is from like an article in like 2020. And also they have like a commentary. They reference how like there have been 43 stadiums built since 2000, and they were funded at least in some part by like the cities that they are operating in, which that's what I'm saying. And then like the final quote in this is like, the rich stadium owners do not need they don't need they don't need cities money. They don't need the city's money to be able to operate like as an organization, which is true. Damn, y'all whack. Anyway. But yeah, like straight up though, they're pointing out like they're billionaires that are like getting other people to pay the bill for things that they could easily pay for themselves. I'm like, yeah, that's how you stay rich, right? Use somebody else's money and then tell them that like by you paying for it, you're helping poor little old me, the rich man. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Especially since stadiums like overall tend to be trending towards more privatized existence, because when they are a private company, they don't have to adhere to anything the city says other than like the regular regulations that the city puts down on like large buildings and stuff like that. They also don't have to cut the city in on money that's made. They don't have to cut the city in on any of the money that's made off of the stadium, like in the long run. So that's interesting. Maybe they'll go fully private. Because there's nothing, yeah, especially with the leverage that you gain from having like a large entity like that that's fully private and benefits like that. So we'll see. Here you go, store number one. Hold on a sec, gotta clean my nose real quick. Woo! And I'm back. Damn. You go from like Kentucky's offensive coordinator to the LA Rams offensive coordinator? God damn. Yeah, so next article I'm reading is about Liam Cohen. He went from OC at Kentucky, which, by the way, you know, coming off a great season, like legitimately a historical Kentucky football season, which, you know, is normal or whatever. Streamer mode. What is that? Sorry, I have Discord open and it just activated something called streamer mode. Probably have to check that. Maybe to prevent people from being able to. I don't know. I'll probably have to look that up. If there was ever one thing that I should be very concerned about, it's the fact that there's a lot of people who really go out of their way to like attack and figure out how to get personal information about a lot of streamers. And I'm talking like major streamers, right? Not like people like me, but that is something that has come up like randomly in a lot of different places. Like there's this one video I watched where they were like, hey, don't in terms of like things that can and cannot be written into your chat, don't put like key information like your fucking address, like your house, like don't put key information like your house address, don't put key information like don't put key information like your phone number in terms of the things that get blocked when they get typed into the chat, because that is like a reverse thumbs up that like that's the thing that you're looking for, and it confirms it to people on the internet that that is your personal address and like your phone number. Oh, I need to stop this song before they fucking pull down. This is the stupid song. Yeah, I've had to like write to YouTube multiple times about that song and how it does not belong to like some random music company called like Horus Music or some shit like that. Because if you go listen to it, like clearly it is music that got, well, one, they use the same like sound, they use the same beat making whatever software that Christina used, and so they have the same sound pieces, but they are they have it like copyrighted, quote unquote, right? And then like I, in my message every single time, I'm like, this is a song that my friend made, and you're telling me that it is not, it's a song that my friend made, and you're telling me that it belongs to this other company. I'm like, if you just like listen to the songs for 10 seconds, they just use one part of the same beat. Alright. It's not that. It's a soft secret. Oh man. Oh, I have to do so much. Oh man, I have like 2 days to do a bunch of stuff for that thing that I can't tell you about. Maybe I should stop talking about it. I'm pumped, but also a little tired. Yeah, that's wild. This dude's 36 years old. He's gonna be the OC for the reigning Super Bowl champs. Which, by the way, like, makes sense. Honestly, what I'm drinking right now is the number one flavor for the thing that I like to drink on this show. Cherry Lime Lift. This is so weird because, like, once again, like, it's another... A lot of these, like, OCs and shit like that, OCs and DCs, in particular, like, these crazy, like, these... Not crazy, but, like, these, quote-unquote, futuristic, like, cutting-edge type OCs come from, like, really small schools. I don't know if you noticed that trend or whatever, but, like, that's, like, the go-to move to be like, oh, damn, what is the fuck? One of the... Damn, I'm trying to think of his name. There's an OC that went to, like, a D3 school. He's like an NFL. He's an NFL OC Division 3 QB, like a former Division 3 QB. Oh, Kellen Moore is a former Division. By the way, wow, just found out that me and Kellen Moore have the same birthday, except he was born 4 years before I was. But yeah, this is weird. Hold on, let me see. Not coaches. Like, this guy was this is just about D3 football in general, which, shout out to the people out there covering Division 3 football. Yeah, so former Division 3. Damn, I forgot what the name of that random school is, because it's like it has like a purple logo and shit like that. Byron Leftwich went to a Division 3 school technically when Marshall was in D3. Apparently. Yeah, so the new OC for the Eagles is a former Division 3 quarterback. Oh no, sorry, former Eagles quarterback. Damn, I'm trying to find like what school these guys went to. This is wild. Like, I'm on the NFL Hall of Fame website, and it's like youngest NFL coaches in the modern era. Which, by the way, I don't think in the old era They were out here letting motherfuckers at like 15 show up and be head coaches at the age of 30. That's crazy. Yeah. This is so weird because it's like I can't imagine being where Sean McVay is at 30. And it's because obviously he is more dedicated, has a lot of things that broke his way for sure. Has been in coaching for like his whole life. But like look at this list of youngest head coaches ever. Sean McVay is at number 1. He's also the youngest coach to ever win the Super Bowl by like a year and some change or whatever. Lane Kiffin, second. Didn't work out well for him at the pro level. I will say this. That's when I learned how to. That's when when the Lane Kiffin situation happened with the Raiders is when I gained a shit ton of respect for Al Davis. Like, not as like a historical reference or anything like that, but I had a lot of situations where I was like, "Damn, that's lit." Also, like, I learned why Al Davis was so cool based off of the Lane Kiffin situation, because like Al Davis called Lane Kiffin like sketchy as fuck, and I was like, I get it. And like later on in life, I was like, Al Davis, he knows a sketchy motherfucker when he sees one. You know what I mean? He's like 31 when he became a head coach of the Raiders. Still currently very successful college coach. Harlan Savari, never heard of him. Probably he coached in the 60s, that's why. Ooh, that was an adventure. I sneezed so fucking hard, my arm hurts. There's something in my room causing an allergic reaction. Great. I'm pretty sure it's the detergent on my clothes. Detergent on my sheets and stuff. John Mickelson, never heard of him. These other guys though, Raheem Morris, know him. Listen to by the way, on Pivot Podcast last week. If you don't know what the Pivot Podcast is, I talked about it. For media suggestions, it is the what is seemingly the better version of the I Am Athlete podcast, because they don't have Brandon Marshall in there yelling and screaming and interrupting everybody. But it's Channing Crowder, Fred Taylor, and Ryan Clark interviewing former athletes. They had a fantastic conversation with Ricky Williams about his life. Ricky Williams also is a regular on the Dan Le Batard show. If you're not familiar with that, the last couple episodes have been really cool. He read the chart of let's see. He read Amin Al-Hassan's chart. That's who it was. And I think every week he's going to read the chart of somebody on the show. So that's pretty cool. Like astrological chart, not like medical chart or anything. So it was interesting. They had a conversation about Amin's life, and they used it to foray into a bunch of stuff there. So, and Amin apparently is like a huge skeptic, but kind of seemed like he may or may not have turned the corner in the course of that reading, which is cool because like Dan Le Batard's doing a bunch of wild stuff. But anyway, they had a conversation where Raheem Morris, after he won the Super Bowl. So yeah, check that out. David Shula with the Bengals. Josh McDaniels, so far so good. John Madden, when he coached, he was 32 years old. Wow. I for one only picture old John Madden, but also it could be the cameras. Like if there's one thing that will in my brain accelerate your age by like 50 years, it is a camera from the 60s. It is a camera with low resolution that will make me think that you are 57 years old when you're really 27. So there's that. Anyway, Don Shula. Don Shula's on this list. Al Davis on this list, ironically enough. Coached at 33 years old. John Gruden, Bill Cowher on this list as well. Norm Van Brocklin, one of the few old school coaches that I actually know. Mike Tomlin on this list as well. A lot of successful names. Eric Mangini, Mike Shanahan, Dick Nolan. A lot of successful names on the young coaching list, as a matter of fact. For real. A lot of dudes I never heard of because they did it in the 50s. But most of these 2000 guys. So, like, let's just go through and look at the so Sean McVay's on there for the 2000s. Raheem Morris on there for 2000. I call Raheem Morris's time with the Buccaneers pretty successful. It seemed like he overachieved and they fired his ass because they needed draft picks. John Madden. Sorry, this is Josh McDaniels. I don't get how he got on this list because he didn't do it. Anyway, you know what I mean. Anyway, he signed up. I would call Josh McDaniels a failure in that situation as a coach, right? That was a failure situation, not him as a failure as a person or as a head coach even, really. Because he only did it for 1 year. So, John Madden's on here, but that's not the 2000s. 2000 ended in the 2000s. John Gruden, that was his first stint. Pretty successful. That was not the Super Bowl year, though. That was when he coached with the Raiders. I feel like he was pretty successful there. And Bill Cowher, honestly, one of the most successful coaches in NFL history, and obviously with the Pittsburgh Steelers, pretty good as well. Pretty good, quote unquote. Other 2000s, Mike Tomlin. We would call Mike Tomlin a very successful head coach. I think he's like all-time winningest coach in Pittsburgh Steelers history. Yeah. What else? That's it. Oh, Eric Mangini. Eric Mangini, not great. Not great. All right. It's probably like down the middle. Anyway, all that connected to the fact that the Los Angeles Rams are hiring Liam Cohen, who is going to become their OC. He was the Kentucky offensive coordinator, coming off Kentucky's like really successful season in the SEC, right? And he's forayed that into the NFL and also to being on the sidelines and calling plays for the premier team in the league. Oh, by the way, shout out Odell Beckham Jr. He announced that his kid is born. I'm not reading that story about Jarvis Landry. It's kind of dumb. He's like, I would like to play a lot. I would like to continue to play football. Apparently, Jarvis Landry's also on like a fully incentive-based contract. Right now, like all of his guaranteed money is gone. Insane. Many would say that's good timing for the Browns, though, because Jarvis basically didn't. Anyway, that's what that deal is, right? Yeah, like he's on a full. I mean, you would say the Browns did a good job of signing that contract because Jarvis didn't play. I think he only played like half the year. I don't think he played the whole season last year. I know he didn't play all of last season. He didn't play the whole season of last season. He also played hurt. I'd like to point out it was very evident that he was still playing hurt at some point last season. Had a knee injury, and of course it's probably because he was in a contract year, because if he had killed it this year, he probably would have requested an extension, or they would have offered an extension, especially with Odell Beckham Jr. deucing out. Let's see. He missed 18. He missed 6 games this season, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that is, a month and a half of football? So, yeah. And he had, this is like one of his worst years, right? It was like one of his worst years as a wide receiver in the NFL. Worst in receptions, worst in yards, middle of the road for yards per reception, worst in touchdowns. His catch percentage is pretty high. Nope, second worst catch percentage. Yeah. I mean, and some of that is, of course, a product of what was going on with the Browns, where it just seemed like they had all this talent and nothing can ever go right. So there's that. Yeah, no. I'm not reading that story. I'm not reading the shit about Deshaun Watson. Apparently, he's getting forced to. He can be forced to testify under oath, which I'm sure people would just lose their fucking minds, even though he's going to plead the fifth. Everybody still wondering about Jamal Adams getting back to where he used to be. I'm gonna tell you this right now, guys. Probably not going to happen. He did play really well towards the end of the season, though. Yeah, this is the big story, right? The XFL story, where they somehow got some kind okay. Time out. All right, I was just making sure I wasn't gonna sneeze. I don't want to sneeze. 1, onto the mic, and then 2, into the mic. Yeah. So anyway, I was gonna say about the XFL. They're like signing up to be a part of the NFL, right? Like to some kind of partnership. And then my thing was like, yo, the AFL, the AAFL, still they did this shit. Way back in the day, they did. They when they did that thing where they they didn't make it through an entire season. They were like on NFL Network, and I was like, yo, did they just buy the time slot on NFL Network and we're hoping that like they would be on NFL Network so much that the league would eventually sign them to like a big deal or some shit like that, but I guess not. NFL to be petri dish for football innovation, prospect development as part of partnership agreement with NFL. Interesting part. Don't forget the Rock, big involvement with the XFL. Also did like the little intro thing that everybody thought was weird for. He cut the promo for the Super Bowl. Everybody thought it was a little weird, but let's be for real. The Rock was like at the Super Bowl, and they're like, "Hey, Dwayne, how about you just go down there a little bit? Say some stuff into the mic, get people hyped up and stuff like that." They probably did that. That's what it was. The NFL and the XFL reached a partnership agreement. So this agreement does not include sharing players. Which, of course, means that, like, yeah, we're not going to share players, but we're definitely going to, like, cut this guy that we don't have enough space for on our practice squad, and he's going to also play for, like, the nearest XFL team, and then when we need him, we can get you guys to cut him, and then he can sign back to the NFL. And of course, they point out the most obvious thing. It's like, this is major because the XFL is the first league to be partnered with the league. They're the only of these other leagues, like the Spring League is out there, and the Spring League was doing a decent job of getting guys from their league into the NFL. Right? So, but they were never partnered with the NFL. And the USFL is coming back as well. Almost forgot about that. Had to sneeze, sorry. This is the last story for Study Hall, guys. So, I'm going to call it after this. I was supposed to only be on here for an hour. Well, I was supposed to be on here until 12:07, so I'm going to do that. Sorry. I'm going to be dropping TikToks about NFL players, or NFL prospects. That's my next thing to work on, and also be watching One Piece while I do that. So, yeah. Oh, we got a follower. Tino Sausage and Beans. Shout out to you. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. We got to fix my alert box. For some reason, there's a duplicate. Shout out to a new follower. It looks like on Twitch. What I do? Why is it still on screen? Hello. Hello, what's up? Are you saying hello, mate, because you're an American pretending to do a British accent? Or are you, perhaps, actually British? Click on your profile here. February 13th. Just recently joined Twitch, huh? What up? My day has been pretty chill, man. Like, I have a severe allergic reaction going on right now. I'm probably gonna have to rewash everything of my that I have clothing-wise that I washed last week using a certain detergent. Other than that, man, I was just sore from a workout yesterday. Well, I'm not even that sore. Oh, that's cool, man. What part of what part of the UK are you from? Castleford, to be exact. That's near Leeds. Wait, hold on. I don't know if you know this or not, but the long-lasting legacy of my former podcast host, Martin Pate, fuck Leeds. We say fuck Leeds around here. That's near Leeds in West Yorkshire. Shout out to you, man. What time is it there? Fuck Leeds, the team, not the city. I'm assuming the city has nice people there, so nice folks over there. My day's been pretty good, man. How about yours? How's your day been? Tino Sausage and Beans. Tino Sausage and Beans, eh? Yeah. Also, what's your EPL team, man? I always gotta ask. 6:04 p.m. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Oh wait, I have to ask. Do you play Quidditch, or are you just a random person on the internet that somehow found the stream? Yeah, this is our study hall podcast. Hey, to the Sausage and Beans, you're a cool kid. Welcome to the squad, bro. Welcome to the squad, my man. A person. I don't know if you're a man or a woman or non-binary. Sorry. Welcome to the gang. Welcome to the Leeds gang. But yeah, that's ever since Martin told me that, like, they basically used to be like the Alabama of the EPL, and now people fucking hate them. And they got down bad. They were like in the Champions League, or not Champions League. They were in yeah. You see, I typed black as a thingle and thought, would fuck this shit. Let's watch black guys. I guess. Okay. I guess that's an interesting approach to life. I wonder who else is in the African American category, because quite frankly, that is a thing. On Twitch, you can type in African American. And, yeah, Tender Sausage and Beans, I am from, Texas. Okay, cool. So you're an Arsenal / Man U fan. I didn't know that was possible. Like, the EPL comes off like it's fucking gangs. Like, they are gangs out there. Are you black, Tender Sausage and Beans? Sorry if, that puts too much your personal information out there, but are you black? I wish I could. Yeah. Anyway. Man, good to have you along, man. No doubt. Gotcha. Man, you shout out to the boys. They out there getting it. This is their time. Well, their time is always their time because they be out here making moolah. So, all right. Hey, man. That's funny as fuck. You feel like you gotta preface it with like, I'm white, but I am not racist, as if they are intertwined with each other. Although, like, white racist people on the internet name a more dynamic duo. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking out this stream. No need to apologize for being white, my dude. I mean, definitely apologize if you're racist. Don't apologize for being white. Oh man. Yeah, this is a study hall segment of my podcast where we're just kind of like chilling out and having a conversation. Well, not having a conversation. I'm like reading articles and kind of like summarizing them because I have a podcast I do every Thursday called the Broke Boy Sports Podcast, and I also need a way to get more streams produced. So I am monetizing. Not monetizing, but I'm also utilizing my study time that I use. So yeah. Shout out, man. Appreciate you hopping in the chat. Appreciate you not being racist though. Like, really appreciate that. you cannot undervalue how much I appreciate you not being racist. Yeah, man. Been on here for an hour and 2 minutes. If you got any hot takes, sports hot takes or anything like that, this show is like real kind of impromptu, kind of freestyle. We are also almost done. I promised myself I was going to stay on for an hour, and I started at 11:07. The counter says it has been an hour and 2 minutes. So it is time for your boy to skedaddle. I will be back either, more than likely I'll be back on Friday. Friday around 7 p.m. to do the actual podcast where we talk about stuff. And hopefully by then, my allergies will have gone away and I'll be able to talk in coherent sentences. You guys have heard what it's like on this show when I have allergy issues and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of whiskey helps a little bit. Whiskey always tends to help with the allergies. That may be a personal preference. Well, also racist topic, my friend who is black was called a bad word, a racist one. I mean, hey, you know, sometimes look, sometimes you gotta let people know that words mean things. I listened to a podcast called The Read. I listen to a podcast called The Read, and they talk about how, like, celebrities and other people like to talk about how their words got taken out of context and people don't understand what they're talking about or what they're saying. And it's like, well, this word means this, and you use this word, and people took what you said, utilizing that word to understand that is that word, right? So words mean things. And sometimes, you know, words mean things, and words are also connected to ass whoopings. I understand that. So, hopefully, you know what? I've been a good boy. Been trying to cut down on the alcohol. I've actually replaced what I usually do on Tuesday, which is go out with my friends and drink at the bar. It turned it into a workout day for me personally, and it has gone a long way in terms of like my success so far, in terms of getting my heart rate where I want it to be and eating better overall. So yeah, fuck that. You're right. Appreciate the tender sausage and beans. I'm out of here, man. Thank you for hopping into the chat and joining up with me. Hopefully, next time you search black guys on Twitch, I will pop up. Appreciate it, man. We out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at FB_playbook. Follow me on Instagram at TheAstronForever. And deuce out. You guys know.